description for the city needs to be added, so we're gonna give the city code of ATL to city Atlanta, which is a city in state of Georgia, and we're gonna hit send. This is a post request. We got the response 200. Okay. Just add one more city so it will be more visible. Let's make Macon, another city in state of Georgia. For variety of data, let's make one more city of Miami in state Florida. So city Miami and state of Florida, and cities, make a post request. Now let's see if we have got all the cities. So what we're gonna do is in the city Georgia, and if we pass the city code Atlanta, error not found. So we need to check what is going on. Our URL parameter is state/cities, not the city code. So that's the mistake that we are doing. So this postman tells that there is no message available, and the path, it is giving an error that there is 404. So this is good and it helps for debugging. And let's make a call to Georgia cities. I want cities, list of all the cities in state of Georgia. I am still getting null. So there is something wrong going on here. So let's have a look what is going on. To debug, let's go back to our cities controller and see the first URL, which is /cities, and which will give a list of all the cities. So let's test whether we are getting list of cities or not first of all. So let's test our first URL, cities, and we got the cities, all the cities listed here: Miami, Atlanta, Macon, Georgia. And you can see that there is a state and there is a null object in it. That's the reason we are not getting within Georgia state the city of Atlanta. So let's have a look at our code, what is going on. So we need to associate our cities with a state code. So there is no relation built defined in here. So we need to define a relation between a state and a city. So how do we do that? So we have an entity which is a city, and we have city code and city name as we did in state, but we have to build a relationship, and this is how we build a relationship. So we will define a many to one relation, which is again annotation from JPA. It has nothing to do with Spring. If you use JPA anywhere, maybe in Hibernate also, this annotation will be there, and it can be used to make a relationship between these two entities. So we have many to one relationship with state. One state can have many cities. So this is our relationship that we have defined, and we have just included the state on the basis of state code. We are using it in our constructor, and we have a setter and getter for setting a state on the basis of state code. So this is our relation that we have defined. In city services, we need to check what is going on. So we do have everything looks nice in here, but there is one problem. The problem is that we are not associating a state in our cities controller with our state when we were adding a city. You see here, this is the commented code. This code is gonna define that whatever parameter this state code is, this cities comes under this state, and that is gonna set the state for our city. Similarly, we need to uncomment for update. Suppose if we are updating, we don't want it to get bad data in there. So this state is nowhere connected to the cities controller. It's in completely different package. So we need to import this class in our current cities controller. So we have com.spring.springboot start.states.state. This is our class. So just save this and see what's going on here. Oh, I didn't uncomment it. So just save this, and now your project will work fine. Now we have a relationship defined. Whenever you're making a city, you are adding a city in database, make a relationship between city and a state code, which is coming from the path that this city belong to this particular state code. So let's go back and test this again. So to test it again, you have to stop the server and run it again, and you have to build your database again, because this is embedded database and it's creating a new instance of database every time your Spring is started. So again, if you hit on cities URL, you will get nothing back. If you hit on your states URL, you will get nothing back, because we don't have states, we don't have cities. But we're gonna do the post request, and we're gonna make a states and give it a state code, give it a state name, give a state code of Georgia, and make a post request. We'll get 200. OK. Make another state Florida, name it Florida, and make a post request. And now check it for states. We got 2 states back. And now let's move forward, and we don't have cities, so let's make a city, Florida city. So under the URL state/fl/cities, we're gonna make a new city. So state/fl/cities, I'm gonna make a post request with a city code and a city name. City code and city name. Let's give it MIA for Miami. Make a post request. We got 200. OK. And let's make one more TPA for Tampa. Make a post request again, and now let's test the first URL, which is cities. We should get 2 cities back, Miami and Tampa. And you see now here it's not null, it's object of a state, which is state code and state name. So this complex object is coming out of that relationship that we have built. So just to test, I'm gonna make another cities in Georgia, so you'll be able to see what's going on. And here we got Atlanta, and I'm making a post request, and under this I'm getting cities, and I got 3 different cities with 2 different states. One is Georgia and another one is Florida. So now let's move forward and test our other URLs, which is states. If you are within state, if you are within another code that you know that you are inside Georgia and you want the list of all the cities within the state of Georgia, you're gonna make a send request, and this is Atlanta as the only city within Georgia in our database. Let's test this for Florida. We should get back 2 cities within Florida state, which is Miami and Tampa. So this is what it looks like when you make the URL. And what extra things we have done is nothing but we have defined our many-to-one relationship with the state in here, and in cities controller we have been setting this state on the basis of the state code, which is coming as a path variable in our methods. So this is it. I think I've covered everything. We will see these other 2 methods, that how we have defined these, and we will test furthermore the other controllers that we have defined, and how we can search a city within I will just explain that how this search is happening and how these methods been looking for the cities within that state code in detail in the next lecture. So see you guys.